Now, hey, John, there's something I'm going to do. We were doing these contests, right? And I was telling everybody this. This here, I don't know if you remember back, we gave a surface cleaner away. And we're going to be giving another surface cleaner away in the future. But 2 weeks from today, we're going to be giving away 2 hose reels valued at what? You remember? $800.
Nice.
So, guys, don't miss those. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm telling you what I'm going to do right now. From now on, when John and I draw prizes, there's going to be a massive fishbowl here of everybody that entered all of our contests are now going right back into the bowl. So if you've entered a past contest, guess what? You're going to be able to win some more cool prizes all the way up until John and I do the free F9 event on November 13th and 14th, and John's garage cleaning event on the 14th. Right, John? F9. Uh-oh, man, now that bowl got stuffed. By the time we get this done, John, this thing's going to be stuffed and full of entries. So nice. I'm going to go ahead and put that to the side right now. Let's refresh ourselves. The winner of the Sauce Boss, who was it? Bobby Vaughn. And then Bobby Vaughn. And then Brad Holiday and Logan Coffey won a closer hat. I'm going to go ahead and put those to the side. Those guys, just go ahead and watch your PMs or PM me directly, guys, and we can make sure we get your guys' address so you can get that. The Sauce Boss, because he sold so many of them, won't be sent out until next week, so you probably won't get it till the following week. He let me know that right now on stock and everything, he sold so many of them since the contest was going on that he's short. He ran short on it, and that's how that works. When a lot of these guys go on, when they do these contests, man, things start flying off the shelf. That's just how it is. You know that.
Yeah, sure does. Yep.
So
look, you got one of these, Ron? You got one of these? What is it? Well, let's see what's in the goodie bag.
Is it a goodie bag? You got a goodie bag and I didn't? Oh, man, that's terrible.
Well, I know the right people. But in the goodie bag, Craig Harris is very, very neat and orderly. If you ever seen him, the guy doesn't have 1 ounce of fat on him. We got safety glasses, the F9 goodie bag. Let me just show you some more stuff in here. I got the big F9 sticker to put on one of my trucks or trailers. I got a lot of stuff in here. We got another sticker, right? F9. We have look at Craig. Look at this. Our vision, your future. This guy is we know how to clean garages. Craig Harrison is a concrete restoration expert, bar none, in our industry. There's nobody better than him in our industry.
Nobody. He's the best, man.
He's the best. He's the best. What else? He gave me he gave me L&H, Mike Howard's company. He gave me one of their lanyards, right? He gave me another sticker. Right? I'm almost done, Ron. About 10 more minutes. I got multiple F9 authorized applicator. Right? I got an F9 notebook. When somebody calls me on the road, I can pop their name on that. And I'm using it for my notes. This came in a bag too. I don't know if you can see this. I'll put it a little closer. Where's the camera?
He's got the old F9 pen. Awesome.
Yep. This is the most valuable thing to me, right? Without counting his chemicals, this is very valuable to me because I write a lot of notes with this thing.
Absolutely. And you can ink those contracts that you got.
Yeah.
Hey, John, I'm gonna bring John in. I'm gonna let John introduce himself. Basically, John here, guys, he's a special guest of ours. We're supposed to have Ty Schnell come in too. I call Ty the $1.5 million house washer. I want Ty to, if Ty comes in, we can talk about that. But John, as you know, John, you guys are both garage cleaning gurus, okay? So John is a garage cleaning guru out of Austin, Texas. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unmute John. We're going to get him here in the stream. Here he comes, 3, 2, 1. What's up, John? How are you?
Good. How about you guys? Sorry, working
great.
outside.
How you doing, John? Nice to meet you.
I'm doing good, John. Nice to meet you.
tell us a little bit about your company, John. Tell everybody what you're doing out there in Austin.
My company, we just do all commercial work. We've been thinking about residential for a while, but just never bit the bullet. But all we do is flat work. We just do a lot of hospitals and parking garages, and that's it.
That's your primary.
Yep.
Tell me, you got a kind of an unusual story. You're not very, you're not one of us old dogs. You're not the largest part-time contractor that ever lived. That's John here. That's Mr. Tornabene. But how long have you been doing this, John? And how old are you now?
I am 34. I've been doing this for 18 years.
18 years. Explain how you got. Wow. Explain how you got from the time you were 16 to now, if you can.
Okay. So what started me even looking for a job was I knocked my girlfriend up, my current wife now, and I needed work and nobody was hiring me. So I met up with this guy, John Robbins, and he owned this company, and he got me started. And 2 years into it, he kind of told me that he liked my work ethic and that he was ready to retire if I was interested in, running his business for him. And so that kind of started it all. And once he told me that, it just clicked. I ran with it and pretty much overhauled his company for him, taking him from 5 or 6 hour jobs down to 2 hours per job, and upgraded machines and everything. I did that for 10 years, and then finally he kind of stepped back and let me run it all on my own while he stayed home until about 4 years ago. And so it's been 2 years of the business in my name now, and so now it's officially mine. He passed and left it to me. And so,
well, it's awesome that that's your story, man. And everybody's got a story, man. And I personally, John, I think it's a great story. I think it's a great way for. Obviously, he was able to have you run the company for all those years. You got the experience. He got the ability to have somebody like you help him out, probably in his semi-retirement. I'm assuming when he finally stepped away, he was kind of like in semi-retirement. There's not a lot of guys out there that have that advantage, that have somebody on their team that is that good. You know what I mean? I always wonder about this. So you're still a young guy. Are you looking to possibly mentor somebody into that spot so you can either step back and do other things in the business as far as building it bigger, or are you good with the status quo? I mean, where do you see yourself? Let's just say, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself off the wand. Right now, I can see that I'm not satisfied with what we have when we're a decent sized company. I'm young and hungry, so I'm trying to grow it now, and it's hard to grow while I'm out till 5 or 6 in the morning, and then try to wake up at 7 or 8 to go out and do sales. So that's hard. I've tried hiring guys in the past to go out and do sales, and that to me just doesn't work. And so I'm going to have to step back here, probably 2021, and let my brother, that's my right hand man, take over and do the work, so I can go out and do more sales, and eventually get us to a point to where him and I are both running separate crews, doing separate jobs.
Right.
That's cool.
Way to do it.
That's cool. But you guys have really been, and I talked to you a little bit about it. You don't have to mention the names or anything like that, but like, I know that you've been doing like pretty much the work that when you started, you guys have still been doing that 16 years later, which is phenomenal. I mean, that's a testament to to you, as far as, you've run the company, you've been able to keep the customers. I don't know if you know this or not, and John knows this, man. Getting customers sometimes isn't the battle. Keeping customers are really the battle. You know what I mean? If you can
Right.
keep the customers, and it sounds like, man, you're on the right track because you've done that. And there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, because I've been doing this for 35 years. John's been doing this for 20, 30 years. We see these young guys that come in, and they're quick to go out there. They're quick to replicate, and they're quick to get, put on another rig. But we all the time, all too often, John, what happens? We see them fail, don't we? Because they can go out there and build, but they can't keep the customers. And if you can't keep those customers and keep them happy, all of a sudden your reputation in the industry becomes not so well. And I mean, you and I, this, man. Austin's it's not a giant market. And the customers that are in our Phoenix market, even though I got 8 million people here, they all know each other just like we know each other. You know what I mean? And they talk, and I don't think guys realize it is so important to keep your reputation and your integrity of your company, first and foremost up here. That alone is going to get you to grow, I think, in the future. I think it's a matter of when you're ready to take that step back, you're going to be able to replicate this thing. I believe light speed. I really do. In fact, I believe you'll be able to do it as quickly as you want to do it. What do you think, John?
Well, what I think is, hey, John, nice to meet you, by the way. Definitely. I look at it like I love sports. I played a lot of sports when I was a kid. And I look at it like, take Mike Trout in baseball, for example. Mike Trout's from Philadelphia, I think it is. He's playing for the LA baseball team. He's like 28 years old. He's the best in baseball. I look at it like this. In my mind, at least, I was a great power washer. I could do anything. I worked 15, 17-hour days. But you know what I learned? That there's better people out there. I mean, once you can release that control, the most valuable asset to your company is not you. It's a good employee. They're out there making the money for you. So I had the same employees for many, many years because I trained them. But, I'm 59 years old, and I still can run with some of the best guys in the industry. But there's better people out there. They have to be trained. So if you train a 25 or 30-year-old guy, what I like best is around the 30s and that age because they take the stuff more seriously. But you can find a 22-year-old rock star. It's how you train them to do that work. So 14 years ago, actually when I first started in 1996, I was bringing on a helper or whatever I did. I always had somebody. But finally, when I walked away from the wand, John, it was a hard thing to do. I got complaints and stuff like that. But a friend of mine's got a big company here. He says, John, don't go back. You're taking a step backwards. You got to keep training these guys. Hire them slowly, fire them fast. And once you get the crew in place, which I have now for quite a few years, you can go out there. You can make your company as big as you want to make it. You can keep it like I do. I keep my company rock steady. My guys are working 5 to 7 days a week. Or you can do anything you want. But the only way to do that is get off that wand. You got to get off the wand. You're wearing too many hats, and it can bog you down. And I used to get burnt out all the time. So, yeah. How old are you, John? How old are you?
34.
Oh, God, you're light years ahead of me already. I started at 33. So it took me – I blew my knee out in the garage years ago, still trying to run with the guys. And so I really didn't go this route until I was like 46, somewhere around there. So you're on a path to do really, really well. And then it comes down to marketing, SEO, and all that stuff. The sky's your limit because if you're good power washing and you're a nice guy, which you seemed to me, and you help us out with the groups we're in, your sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. It's a matter, but you have to get off that wand to get there. That's really what it comes down to. Unless you want to stay on the wand. If you want to be the guy when you're 65 years old in great shape, so after doing it, there's nothing wrong with that. But I like what I do. Ron's been years ahead of me doing this stuff. The sky's your limit, man. It really is.
My goal is to do 3 days a week with the guys because I do enjoy the cleaning. I do enjoy the process. I like the before and afters, especially on these dirty jobs or especially on the jobs where they call you. You got your customers that call you in a panic.
Right.
Hey, we're having a meeting or we're having some head honchos coming in next week when we need it done by Thursday, and you just say yes sir, and you go and you give them the wow effect, you just go above and beyond and for these guys, and that's why we've been in business with them My company has had these contracts for 30 plus years
Wow.
because, the owner had the company way before me. I've only been doing it for 18 years. So the
That's
contracts
a
have
long
been with
time.
this company, and this guy, John, I'm not his son or anything. He's got two sons of his own that live, here in Dallas, and he didn't give it to them. He gave it to me. And so that shows a lot, it says a lot. And he taught me everything. He taught
Right.
me what I learned from him is to treat your employees with respect, and that
You
goes a
know what,
long way.
John? Not to cut you off, but that guy saw you, saw the way your work ethic was. He saw it in you. Like I have two girls. They want nothing to do with the power washing industry. My wife runs this company, but they want nothing to do with it, right? But the guy saw in you your passion. He saw your attention to detail, ex-military. That's how we talk. He saw this in you, and you now could take that a step further. I know you want to be out there. You like to clean. I love to clean. You love to clean. But what I found out was, and Ron knew this years ago, was my biggest satisfaction is when my crew does like a 1,000,000 square foot park garage, and I'm in the vicinity, like we did Foxwoods last year. People know that it's a casino, and I could be in a hotel. My wife is there. We're going, we're running a company, but they're so well trained and they're younger than I am. And I know you. And look, I'm not knocking it that you like to clean. So do I. I love it. That's why I got in this business. But the nice thing is when you can get guys, the Mike Trouts out there. You're now the manager. You're 30 plus years old. You get these guys out there. They are the stars. It's how you train them. And look at the guy that brought you in. He saw it in you. He didn't give it to his sons. He gave it to you. And you could do the same thing if that's your goal.
Yeah, that is the goal. And training is key. We train our guys for at least a month before we put them on by themselves. All there for us is our gophers. Holding the line. Go for this, go for that. Turn the machine on, turn it off. Learn the ins and out. The sounds. All our surface cleaners make a sound. As soon as it makes a different sound, it's off.
Right.
You're going to start chattering. You can hear that stuff. And so we train all of our guys to hear all this stuff and to look out for it. And wand control, because we work in areas where there's people walking by us,
Right.
and hazards. And so if you can't control that wand, then you're never going to be able to work for us. And so
I'm going to show you guys a little trick. I'm in my office. I walk back in the shop. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if you can see this. This wand is shot. Matter of fact, the tip won't even go in here. So this wand is shot. Now, but let me just show you what I learned years ago. This here is a Musmatic swivel. You see this? Now, what I learned on commercial work myself, now watch this. There's the tip, right? Can you see the tip?
Yep.
Now watch. They're popping gum. They're moving so fast, they're turning the wand. So they're going along. I don't know if you can picture this on the floor.
We can see it. We can see it, John.
You can picture that. Hold on.
It's his wife again.
Yeah, you can go along. You can move
John.
the wand like this. So I learned a lot of stuff myself. I teach all my guys everything I learned. And I learned this stuff, John, by going to many events. Ron done a few events I've gone to. These are tricks of the trade you learn. And once you can teach your guys how to do all that stuff, there are guys out there that are better than us. They are. You just got to train them right. You got to find them. And then once you get them in place, your most valuable asset will be your employees. And that's where I am now. And I wish I did it when I was your age.
Yeah, we're nothing without our employees. And a lot of these guys need to really understand that. Your company can be nothing without your employees. So you have to treat them right. Pay them well. Feed them. we do these garages.
Yeah, that's right.
I pay for everything. I pay for all the food, all the drinks, sodas, everything. I'll have 2 or 3 ice chests full of water, sodas, and Gatorades. And then I'll have pizza and Subway sandwiches, throughout the day. And that's just how we do it. The guys do great for me. They do a lot of work for me, so I try to return those favors. And it's just a small little thing.
I get to clean garages with you. I get Subway and Gatorade. I like it. Good.
Hey, put Red
Ron.
Bulls in a. What I always did, I stacked my coolers with Red Bulls, and the guys they like Red Bull's a more expensive energy drink, really, compared to like Monster. They were drinking these things that were like,
Yeah, I'll
They
wire
want
it up.
I'm thinking you're
Yeah.
you're like China. You're locking them in the garage with the Red Bull. Okay, guys, I'll be
Yeah, they
back
got
here
Red
in
Bull.
3
Like,
days.
cool,
Get it
cool.
done.
And the trailers is huge. Yeah, they're fired up. But I have one of my guys, he's a cook, right? But, his past history, and he's been with me a long time. So he always makes all these meals, and he brings in the sandwiches. Like, he brings it in for the crew. He brings it in for me. So that's why I gained all the weight. I mean, but yeah, well, I'm working on that soon because I got to run with Ron on a lot of stuff. I got to get my energy levels up. So,
John, I got to ask you a question. Where's your hat, man? Where's your hat? Did you lose your
you know
hat?
what my hat is?
No, I'm
This is my
talking to
jersey.
John. John,
I
I'm
was-
talking to John. Where's your hat?
I was
Man,
just looking for it. It's usually look. I'm right here at my truck. It's usually here in my truck, and it's not in there. One of my kids might have grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
That is the closer hat. The closer hat. That is
Yeah.
the hat.
yeah. So
it stays in my truck.
so you're coming out to Phoenix, both you guys. John, obviously, Tornabendi's going to do the garage cleaning class.
It's just filling up around like you can't believe.
Did you get committed? Are you coming, or are you just still thinking about it, John?
No, I want to come. I'm waiting for the green light for one of my parking garages. It's actually on that date, so I'm trying to move it 2 weeks up. It takes me 2 weekends to get this cleaned, so I'm trying to get it moved up.
Okay.
Yep.
Hey,
So
and understand if you got to do that, man. Money's money. You know,
yeah.
you got to feed the guys and mama.
oh yeah,
You gotta
funny.
make
I
the
didn't
money.
know-
Make the
I
money
didn't know
first.
your story was the high school sweetheart, man. That's gonna be cool. I can't wait to meet. That's gonna. How many you got now, John? How many?
we have 4 kids.
4.
Ooh.
And he
Yep.
didn't stop. He didn't stop with the 1. He went ahead and plunged forward.
Yep, we have 3 girls and 1 boy.
Woo!
Wow.
Like me, I got
Good
4
for you,
girls.
John.
Them girls are tougher than the boys. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
they
yeah.
are.
Boys
Yes.
are
Look.
much easier.
My sisters were calling me when I'm talking to you. I got sisters and I got daughters. I am the only male in my family, right? This is why I work very well, like with Trudy, Meg Josetti. I work very well with females because you know what? I learned a long time ago. When they're around you, you have to learn to work well with them. So they're calling me. I'm in the show. I'm like, they knew I had a show tonight, but I'll deal with that afterwards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're great.
but yeah,
Well, hey,
we
man,
got
let
4
me-
little
let me-
kids.
Before we let you go, John, let's see if there's anybody that's got any questions for you. There's like 40 guys. There's 40 guys online right now. Let's see if somebody wants to ask you a question. Guys, this is John. He's also a fellow garage cleaner. He's from Austin, Texas, guys. He's been doing this for about 16 years. Has a great story about how he acquired the company, worked for the company for damn near 12 years, and then bought the company. And here he is 16 years later. Guys want to ask him a question. Younger guys out there, older guys out there, somebody want to ask a question, now's the time to shoot it. If you guys got something, don't hold back.
Hey, Ron, call me John T. and call John C.
I'm gonna call you Turtle Bean because that's what Russ calls you.
No, call me. Forget Russ. Forget
Barney
Russ.
Barney 5. I used
Barney
to call him
5.
Barney 5.
Yeah, people can never remember my last name. I'm like, you know what? I seen him sing in concert. Tony Bennett, Tony
Yeah.
Bennett, the singer. Tony Bennett.
I was telling John C. we were laughing about it because we used to joke around about you because you were a cop and we called him Barney 5 and we said he had his one bullet in his pocket. He was able to keep his bullet in his pocket because John had a kind of a career, a little bit of a crazy career as a cop.
Yeah. Good stuff.
You got
Good
no
stuff.
questions, John. Nobody wants to ask a question. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Jay,
Okay, it's a question for you, John. Here it comes. Can you read it on your phone, or do you need me to?
No, because I'm not on Facebook. I'm just on this B. There you go.
Oh, okay.
How did you acquire the monies to buy the company you worked for? what happened was the owner, he actually gifted me the business, and the contracts. I went to them and talked to them, so that came with it. The business end, I had no credit, so what I did was the for the truck and the equipment, I worked a deal with the estate, which are his sons, and at zero interest, and I just paid them a good amount of money to fund it, keep it in the business, this estate's name, until I can get it transferred. But that happened last year.
Super.
So basically, I had a year contract with them until I can get my affairs in order.
Nice. That was a good thing. So man, this guy really he loved you like you were another son, basically. I mean, you know,
yeah, and his sons even called me his brother, their little brother. So
that's good. That's good.
It all worked out. You do good things for good people, good things happen back to you.
Okay, this is a question. I got two more questions that came up. John T, you could take this one, or John C, you could take this one. Whoever wants to take this question, go ahead, because I think it could be for either one of you. Or you can both give your scoop. Go ahead.
I'll answer that. You know what? Do it right away. If you're confident what you can do, you can't be an owner, sole operator though. You can't. You need at least two guys in that garage, if not three guys in that garage. But if you're confident, it's just all flat work. So you can do it right away. If you learn the techniques how to do it, you can do the first year.
Yeah, you can always rent the equipment.
Right.
If you have the guys.
What would you say, and there's no reason having a differing opinion, John C. Would you say jump right into it, or would you say, well, I don't know, I think you should have some type of formal experience doing washing, period? I mean, what do you think?
Well, no, I would not say to jump right into it when you first started, but some people learn fast. They learn in curve. You can speed it up by going to conventions and events like I've done. I've been to over 50. Ron's probably done over 500. I would never tell a newbie who just started out to do it. Really, to be honest with you, if you're in the 5-year range, if you can get to that 5th year because you know how to run your company, how to make money, it's probably better to do it after 5 years, but you can do it. It depends how motivated you are and how well versed and how well trained you are. So if you go to like my class, for example, to be honest with you, I'm going to speedball everybody up in there because the largest companies, as Ron knows, in our industry clean garages. They have 26,000 employees. I'm going to talk about that in my garage class. They're huge. But really, you should have a few years experience behind the wand. But you have to have at least one or two guys with you. You really can't do it by yourself. So if you're motivated, you can get a crew in the first year, teach them well. You can probably do it.
I want to hear what John. I want to hear what John C thinks, and then I'm going to weigh in on this because you guys are going to. You guys are going to like my answer.
Here we go.
My opinion is with any job, you can learn the scope of work, and you have to be true and honest with yourself, and trust your crew if you can handle the job or not. With these parking garages, they give you the scope of work. They tell you what you need to do and what you can and can't use. A lot of them, I can't use bleach, so that you can cancel out SH. I don't care how you sell it to them. They're not going to let you use it in there. So you have to figure out what you can and can't use. But with that being said, man, if you have the connections, the network, I have a network with Hotsy. I can go to Hotsy right now and rent 2 or 3 double unit trailers and not have to pay them a dime until 30 days out. So if you guys have a network with these companies, that's why Ron always preaches network in these groups. If you have a network, man, you can make these jobs happen. You can link up with a local company that already does them and still make a profit. I think you you should go tackle some garages. To me, it's the easiest. It's wide open. You're just cleaning for days. Every once in a while you're going to run into a car because they didn't move it. But other than that, man, I love parking garages. It's a lot of work though. It's probably some of the hardest work you're going to do because you're going to be on your feet for 8 to 12 hours minimum. We go 16 to 18 hours on the first day. No matter what.
Let me know when you're done, John, because I'm gonna give you my take. I'm not gonna give you guys my life story though, okay? But I'm gonna give you my take on this.
Yeah, I'm done. I think they can do it as long as they are honest with themselves, because otherwise they can really lose if they can't do the work.
You were right, John T. You were right. Because here's the thing I want to say. I hear all these guys all the time. Oh, he should pass on that job. That's too big. How are you ever going to learn if you don't do it? How? And I reflect back on when I was in college washing windows, and I slid that card under that first storefront, and the woman called me and said, "Will you wash these giant shopping centers for me?" And it took me 2 weeks to do something that I can do now in 6 hours. Okay. But I had to learn how to do it by basically trial and error. And did I screw stuff up along the way? Yes. but it was knowing that you had screwed stuff up and knowing, okay, how do I not do that again? Let's not shoot water under the door and flood the place. Let's not shoot water up into Eve and cause water damage. Let's not etch the bubble gum up so bad on the sidewalk that when we left there, you have, instead of bubble gum, you got permanent etch marks. Yes, I've etched the concrete. I've jacked it up. We've all done that. And here's the thing: if you can get the proper training and go through, some formal school or get a start, you're obviously expediting and cutting off the learning curve on this. And I would highly recommend you do that. But don't turn opportunity away. Just don't do it. If there's opportunity out there, go get it, and don't be afraid of it. I would say, and just you're gonna get out there, and just like you're saying, John, with the networking that you got, you might even be able to get a contractor in your area to pony up with you and do something you've never tackled. And do it together and do it right the first time, and then you get to learn. But don't turn it down, guys. I highly recommend it. If you get something, you got the opportunity to go get it, go do it. Go do it. Here's the next question, and I'm gonna. It doesn't make a difference. Both of you guys probably use different things for this.
Well, you know what, John, take that question. I don't know if you guys know how to biopsy done yet, so I'm sitting on a donut. Yeah, I got to sit on a donut. Ron told me, John, you got to be on the show. I'll be right back.
I'm sorry,
John. For tire marks, I have learned to love Groundskeeper. Ron put me on that, and I always carry a gallon of it with me on those stubborn tire marks. But most of it comes off with heat. Most of it will just come off with heat.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need it, but if you got a lot of it, it'll be helpful and speed it up a little bit. Yeah, no doubt. I'm actually shocked you're using Groundskeeper. That was a shocking answer. John's going to come on here and tell me he uses Dolimaline.
No, believe it or not, man, we used and I'll probably get roasted for this, but we used Purple Power for the good first 10 years from Home Depot because we didn't know any better. It wasn't until I started getting curious about other products before I started reaching out and learning about other different soaps. Mm-hmm. And then you put me on Groundskeeper when I met you a few years back, and I like it.
Well, till John gets back, I know the reason. I know the reason and everything as far as the not using the chlorine, because we know it's corrosive and it will question the integrity of the steel in the garage, and they'll have the garage fail. and I want to mention this because I think some people will remember this, but at Florida State, they had a bridge collapse, and it was a walkover bridge at the university, and the bridge collapsed because they were using chlorine over a course of a few years to clean it, and all of the metal fasteners on the steel failed. It crushed the bridge down. This is where guys always go, is this stuff important that we do? It most certainly is. I mean, that killed 4 people. 4 people died because somebody didn't know any better to wash a structure with a corrosive chemical that, made the steel in the bridge fail. And John knows in New York City, they have parking decks cave in on top of each other. We've seen the videos, right, John? I mean,
what Ron is saying is very important. Sodium hypochlorite's good for organic staining. You got to be careful in the garage, because in a garage, what happens is concrete's very, very porous. So when you deal with, like, in the parking stalls, as John knows here, you have the oil there. It soaks into the concrete. It becomes a slip hazard if you let that thing build up. But in the Northeast and the colder regions, what happens is when the snow comes in and they're out there plowing the salt in the roads, salt eats through concrete. It breaks it. It gets down to the rebar. You got to watch out for chlorine too. When you soak a garage with chlorine, which we just did a garage, I think 2 weeks ago, we used chlorine on the walls because they had algae on them. But you got to watch out for the surface, because what happens is chlorine soaks into the concrete. Now, if it gets down to the rebar, which holds concrete together, it does this to it, and then ultimately it will condemn a garage, because when the rebar gets so bad, the concrete cracks and it'll cave in. So you got to be careful what you use in the garage, and people don't realize that. You just can't take chlorine and soak down a garage, the surface. If you want to do the walls, you got to watch out for that too. But concrete's got the rebar in there. And as Ron knows, there's garages we dealt with, we put in bids to clean them, but they decide to knock them down. $40 million, $50 million restructure the whole thing all over again, because the rebar, mainly for the salts on the Northeast. I don't know what Florida's doing over there, probably a lot of chlorine. But the Northeast, it's the salts get down in the concrete, and it gets to that rebar, it eats metal. So chlorine's the same thing. You got to be very, very careful saturating the garage with chlorine, because if it works its way down in the concrete, you got to watch out. It's true.
Yep.
Hey, John T, I'm going to have Ty. We're going to try to get Ty to come in next week. I call Ty a $1.5 million house washer, because here in Phoenix, and John T knows this, Ty built a tremendous company, huge company. John remembers this because we all met Ty about the same time on the internet, and he watched his company just. I mean, and the wild thing about Ty's company is it was for real. I mean, there's a lot of these guys out there. John likes to use the word fake book. We know Ty. We know Ty's company was real. He has the rigs. He had the shop. He was running the commercials on TV. I know him personally. He's even, and John goes, they don't show. I've even seen his tax return. So there you go, John. I've seen his tax return. So
you ain't never get my tax returns.
No, you won't see mine either, but I've seen his. And it's the real deal. I'm gonna try to get him on for next week. We're not even gonna get you off here, John, because John T, we got 5 minutes, man. We ate up the entire show with John C here, but that's okay, man. I think it's a good show. I think people got a gist for a feel for somebody else that does this thing. This is what this is. We're doing garage cleaning talk on Wednesdays. Even though we're gonna oops, I gotta go this way. There you go, John. Even though we're talking about, next week having the $1.5 million house wonder wash boy in. Ty's not even a boy. Ty's not even a boy either. But the funny thing is, we met Ty. He was carrying bags at a hotel at an event. It was funny. We had an event at a hotel that this guy was working basically as the bellhop, and the next thing you know, 5 years later, he's $1.5 million in the house wash business. Isn't that that's crazy story, isn't it?
Crazy story. It just goes to show you what's out there. You can look, I talk about my garage class, how I lost to a company that's worth over $10 billion. I lost one of Trump's garages against them. They clean. So there's companies out there that do very, very well. But what I know from the 25 years I've been doing this is the biggest companies, the most successful companies, and the largest companies are in commercial. Hands down, by far. But there's some residential companies out there that do very, very well. And, I can't preach this enough. It comes down to education. We all look. There is no diplomas to get to teach. There is no, degrees and all that crap. What we have in our industry is you got to vet the teachers. I keep bringing this up because I'm relatively successful. You come to my class, you're gonna get a lot of information what we do. I've been vetted so many times, and you got to find out who these people are that really say who they are, because 95% of them in the industry are bullshit. They're bullshit artists. So I know about Ty, Ron says, and I know a lot of things in the industry over the years. But you gotta search on your own, do your own due diligence. We see John C over here is gonna be John C. You're gonna be a rock star when you're in the 40s. I can tell already. He's gonna be. And you know what? If he's not, me and Ron are gonna chase him, and he will be. But the sky is everybody's limit. You gotta do your own due diligence to find out who's telling the truth, who isn't, because fake book is Ron, I like to call it. It's got people who became their own stars, self-appointed superstars when they're not. You got to find the right people to learn from the right people on what you want to do, and they're all out there. Ron, what are you getting ready to draw?
Just some more hats, but this time, this is everybody in there, man. This is this is all the contests. So this thing's going to be just keep getting larger and larger and larger. Now, the big thing is in 2 weeks, guys, in the Friends group, you're going to be able to win 2 Hannay hose reels, a set of 2 Hannay hose reels. Washmart.com, guys. That's Marco Raimondo, who's having an event in Houston in February. It's set now officially the 9th, 10th, and 11th. I think it's a Tuesday,
Ron,
Wednesday.
Do I have to go to that?
Yes, you do, John. You have to be there.
I'm going to be in my South Florida home, hanging out by the Gulf of Mexico.
You got to just drive up through the Panhandle, come up through Louisiana, take the wife to New Orleans, and then come on over to Houston next day.
We'll see.
All right.
I'm gonna
give two guys closer hats, and I'm gonna tell them it's gonna be funny because hopefully they'll be from the past contest. This one here is from the current contest. Jeff Troutwine. It was from the Gringos drawing. Let's see if we can get one from. Let's see if we can get one from one of the past contests, so you guys know all these.
Hey, Bruce Martin's been here before. What's up, Bruce? He's been in my
all righty, look at these guys. They're going to not realize they're still winning. From the Sub Effects drawing, David Carlson won a closer hat. I'm going to give one more. I'm going to give one more away. Hopefully we get somebody from the Whisper Wash camp and see what happens there. And the lucky guy, and I'll be darned, we got another one from Sub Effects, but that's okay. Charles Watts won a closer hat. So I got 3 closer hats tonight in closing. Jeff Troutwine, David Carlson, and Charles Watts all won a closer hat on the close of this thing tonight. Anything you two guys want to say in closing to tell these guys? We had about total viewers right now. We had about 500. So what do you guys want to say to these guys out there?
Well, John C., go ahead. I want to add something. Go ahead, John C.
I guess if I had anything to say is just like what Ron was saying earlier, just get out there and learn. Take notes. You've got plenty of veterans in this group. You got John T. here, Ron Musgraves, and I don't know anybody else. I'm pretty new to these groups as well, so sorry if I don't know anybody else's names, but take notes, guys. There's plenty of information in these groups. If not, get on there and ask. Pay attention to the guys who give you some genuine answers, and just dive into that stuff. Go out there and make some money. There's plenty of it out there.
Super.
Okay.
Hey, John C., we appreciate you coming out tonight. I'm going to let you roll. Say adios.
But hold on.
Yeah.
Just Ron, just fast. Sub effects. Christy and Darren White are gonna I'm either getting masks for everybody with my company.
John, I'm not letting you go. I'm just letting John C out. We'll see you later.
I'm heading out to work.
See, John T sounds the same, but okay.
Okay, got it, man.
All right,
take it easy.
All right, just briefly on my end, Christy White. I've been on the phone with her continuously. Her and Darren own Sub Effects. They're either doing a half of me for my class in Phoenix, or they're doing a mask with the garage stuff on it. They are aces. I'm dealing with them now. Ron's gonna get mad at me. I'm gonna say something here. Ron's gonna get mad at me. He says, "Don't show your hand." I just want to tell you guys just briefly. I have over 30 people already paid for the garage class, and I don't know how big the room is. Generally, rooms hold 35 people in there, so that's where we are now. If it's gonna be up to Craig Harrison, it gives me a bigger room. But nevertheless, if we sell it, I think 35 is what the room holds. If that's what it is, it is. The class is selling well, and it's going to sell well because I know what I do. This is what my company does. I show videos and pictures all the time. And listen, Patrick Clark's the one. I knew about Ron. Ron, you know this. I know Ron since 20 plus years ago. That Ron is the king of commercial sales. Now, Patrick Clark did tell me that, but I already knew that. So Ron taught it to Sales Boost. What I teach in my garage class is how we get these garages, how we do it, how to clean them efficiently, and how to make great money in the process. And I wanted Ron to come in the class for one specific reason. And people are like, John, why? Why? I said, I'll tell you why. Because every time I do a class, I had Stephanie White in the past, Brandon May, the football star. Stephanie White's coming, does over 1,200 garages a year, makes over $10 million a year. I bring people in I want to learn from. And Ron knows sales. There's no denying that Ron knows how to do sales. He can sell anything. He loves flat work commercial. Ron hates calling it flat work.
I clean concrete.
Yeah, he cleans. He's a concrete cleaner. He was years ago. We had a couple trails I seen years ago. He had he's got a lot of people he was getting accounts for, including some people I know, including myself. We've done some strip malls through a couple of states. It actually came from Ron years ago. So this is the way the world operates. But the end of the day here is, and I have me and Ron gonna do shows every week. I got a lot of stuff going on. Ron's coming with me. We are gonna knock down Atlantic City. We're gonna knock it down. We're gonna knock down a Tropicana Hotel. We're gonna do an oceanfront. It's gonna happen next year, and we're gonna do his shows that you guys never seen before. And then even if 2 people show up, it doesn't hurt me and Ron because we're set in our ways. We don't have all our eggs in one basket. See, a lot of people do in the industry. Don't be desperate like that. We're going to make things happen. And in Phoenix at Craig Harrison's event, that's Craig Harrison, F9. All his chemicals he learned from trial and error and how he put himself in a hospital. We're going to be there because Ron told me about it, and I'm friends with Craig too. We both got our books. Craig Harrison, look, the difference from me to Craig is big. Craig is a concrete restoration expert. Now, I don't call myself an expert, other guys do. I just call me a good park garage cleaner type guy. There's other guys out there who want to teach park garage classes, but they never show anything they do. They just want to talk about it. They want to sell you equipment. I only want to sell you knowledge. And Ron's in my class to sell you his knowledge. Now, people say, why don't you give it away for free? What I learned probably cost me $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 for me to learn where I got. And Ron's been in this game so long that he's done hundreds of events. He's learned from a lot of people. He's done his own stuff. So we learned. And you know what? I am not going to give up for free what I know, but I'm going to give it at cost because I really know that the parking garage world, Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he came over from Austria, made his money on buying land in Denver. And it turned out they put garages on it to park the cars. That's where he made his killing. So I know this history. And I know what we do well in, and Ron knows exactly what he does well in. So that's what we're going to do the show on every week. It's me and Ron. We're gonna promote education. In case you guys, and I know Ron's got to go. In case you guys didn't know this, Ron's the only one in the industry, only one, who's pulled the major orgs into one event. And I know, and Ron knows this. we have haters out there because we're front and center. Haters will hate, but once we complete something, most of those haters come in because nobody wants to lose. And that's where we're going at. And Ron, I know you got to run.
No, I'm okay. I got 3 minutes, man.
Well, close it out, man. Close it out, brother.
I got 3 minutes, man. Well, no, let's not forget. We forgot at the very beginning. The reason we're here on Wednesday nights with Garage Cleaning with John and Ron live. The reason we're here, we're going to have multiple guests all the way up until the event. Just want to tell everybody that. Don't forget, and not next Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we're going to have a grand hose reel giveaway. And there are other kinds of prizes too. And let's take this 3 minutes to figure this out, John. I mean, in not in Phoenix, but in February, we're going to be giving away potentially, for sure, a hot water unit, but potentially a hot water and a cold water unit. And in Phoenix, you're going to be giving away a cold water unit to your garage cleaning people. So somebody in the garage cleaning class might win a cold water unit. I mean, you might walk out of there. What's it worth, John? What's the power wash store giving that away?
That one's worth about $1,500. I have it in my shop here. We're giving a Pro Tools sprayer away from Stephen Blythe, who owns Jay Racenstein. But listen. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We're in the business to make money, right, Ron? We're in the business to make money. I'm going to do something I've never done. And Ron, remind me of this. I'm going to give away, not transferable. My class right now is $350 a pop. I sold my classes up to $600 to come into the class because this is what we do. And when you learn what I know, you can go after these garages. I'm going to give away a free ticket either next week. Whatever Ron says. Listen, this is Ron's Playhouse.
We'll figure that out. So John's going to give away a free ticket. That's awesome, John.
And not transferable. But listen, I'm in Ron's world now because Ron likes to do Ron. Listen, come to my class and listen to what Ron tells you. He's done stuff that you might find unorthodox, but he's closed major accounts doing stuff. I'm not going to give up his secrets. I've known Ron for a long time. We applied a lot of his secrets. We'll talk about that in the class. But I don't listen, I'm in the business to make money. For 5 years, I gave away the Volunteer of the Year award for PWNA, which is great. Volunteer where you can. Help the needy and stuff like that. We've done it. We've done it even as far as with Babe Ruth, what happened there. We've done it. But we're in the business to make money. But I am going to give away one ticket away when Ron says, is it next week or the weekend? When do you want me to do it?
I got a huge fan watching tonight. When you talk about my unorthodox sales, James Van Handel has said he's sold millions of dollars worth of accounts using my stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We got guys like Patrick Clark. You're talking Steve Button. John, you don't even know this. Steve Button closed a $600,000 unsolicited proposal that to this day is a $700,000 or $800,000 annual account that rolls over every year. And then, man, my dear friend, I'm not going to talk about Chris's numbers because no one would believe he's doing what he's doing in Nowhereville, Arkansas. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing too, because you know this, John. Guys used to argue all the time. Well, Ron, you live in a city of 8 million people. That stuff's not going to work here. You can't make that much money. And now guys know that you could get 60 of these smaller accounts that I'm talking about, 60 of the smaller accounts, be very diversified, and it's $250,000. It's a $250,000 gig, and I don't think people all too often they just don't believe it. They still, and that's why I was going with that tonight. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have the confidence to just go out there and seize the opportunity, as well as I do, John. Right. Most of this is when opportunity presents itself, is to go get it. You know what I mean? Because opportunity is going to present itself, and you got to be ready to go get it, and that's it. Right. And you know what? You don't want to be that person that we all got that uncle that'll come over during the holidays and go, well, if I would have done that, I'd be a millionaire right now. And we've all got that uncle.
Right, we do.
And you don't want to be that guy. Yeah, you don't want to be that guy. You want to be the guy that said, hey, I took that and I gave my shot. I'm not going to talk about, because everybody gets all sensitive when you talk about, our chief and commander, but he failed how many times? He's got so many failures under his belt that, we've lost track of them, and you can't be afraid to necessarily fail. You're not going to win every time. We want to win a lot, but you're not going to win every time. It's just not going to happen. And you can't be afraid to lose.
That's right. You know what? Look, a commander-in-chief, people like him are major risk takers. Now, I am not a major risk taker. Ron's more of a risk taker than I am. When Ron comes out to New York, I'm going to take him to the second biggest home in America. My good friend, now it has like 130,000 square feet. And I'm going to, Ron, it's on me. I'm going to take you in. He's got a steakhouse in there. He took risk you can't believe. I mean, he's produced movies. He's hung out with Chuck Zito from the Hells Angels. They gave him standing ovations, my friend. He's taking a lot of risk, and he went bankrupt. No, the world is about risk in business, but you got to be careful. If you're like me, I'm more of a steady Eddie type guy, but you could take these risks, and a lot of companies do. But if you really want to go for the stars, you got to be willing. I hate to say this, Ron. You got to be willing to risk it all, but don't risk your health and don't risk your family. So we can talk about this stuff another time. I mean, the sky really is everyone's limit, but the only way to do that is you got to have the education and you got to have the know-it-all kind of, the know it. You have to know what you're going after. You have to know how to do it. You can't go by, people in our industry. There's people that claim to be something they aren't. They live in their mother's basement. They want to sell you something. Me and Raymond Burke, we go back and forth on this stuff. We talk about people like this. You really have to have a knowledge before you go and throw it all on the table. And Ron's offering that in my class. I'm offering that. But I'm going to tell you something here. And I put this up today. I've been awarded multiple times in the industry and also my cop life. And Ron's been awarded multiple times in the industry. Ron and I are doers. We are doers. Not the doers scotch. We're doers. And what we say, we do. And really, if you take that attitude and you come to my garage class and you say, I'm going to do garages, do it. And that's how you get ahead in life. And that's what we preach. And in the end here, and Ron knows this, when I go into Atlantic City, I'm going to do my best to pull something off in there. And Ron knows I'm talking in Vegas. I'm talking to many places. And also I'm talking to celebrities to come in. We're going to see what's going to happen. But who knows? But you know what? We're doers. And anyone listening to the show here, hate all you want because you're mad at us. You may be what's the word I use on there? You may be afraid, whatever the word is I used on the internet. Listen, we're only doing this for the best for the industry because Ron and I have the same passion. Our industry needs threatened is the word I use. If you feel threatened, don't feel threatened by us because the end of the day is I'm 59 years old and I shall be 60. Ron's 50-something years old. We only have so many years left. And we want to get this industry recognized. Our passion is to get us through that door and be noticed. And that's really what's going to come down in the end. And we hope you guys come for the ride. It's about
John, you want to read that one? Look at that nice little testimonial right
Ron,
there.
It's crazy to see how many competition leave so much money on the table. You show me so many things to be profitable and make money. I hit 250K months this year and 340K months. And so many people are just scared to let jobs go. Let me just tell you guys something here. And I sent Ron a text earlier today. That tech company, I'm not going to go into that, but just briefly, their nephew has got a large company here. And of all things, now I got some guys hit me up, John, it's you that brought Ron in here. It's not me who brought Ron in here. It's the fucking company worth they projected me worth $90 billion. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. So their nephew went to two of Ron's events 10, 15 years ago. So, say whatever you want. Me and Ron, we're okay in life. I got my house in Florida. I got my house here. Ron's got his places. But you know what? You can leave your stamp on life. You can leave your stamp on the industry. And you know what? listen, I don't really care that people want to come after me. I know Ron doesn't. We're doing this because we feel we have the same passion. And
it's how it goes. It's how it goes when you're doing the things the right way. I mean, people.
Ron, get one of these. Get one of these.
Just do it. I'm gonna get one of those. I keep forgetting. I got one tonight. I hope it winds up being better. I hope it's not as bad. Hope there's not as much reverb as there was in the past weeks. But I'm gonna order one of those, and I keep forgetting it. Next week I will have a mic. Hey, John. I just want to tell everybody this, man. I've got to go because I've got to go pick up my little one, Kinsey. But hey, Ty Schnell, guys, is coming on. $1.5 million house wash guy right here in Phoenix, Arizona, guys. Phoenix, Arizona. Don't forget to register for the free F9 event on the 13th and 14th. We'll put the link in here somewhere so you can get registered right here in Phoenix, Arizona. Craig Harrison, he's the master. There's nobody better at hard surface restoration than Mr. F9 himself. But I'm going to be excited. Hey, John, we're going to get Ty on next week. We're going to talk about his rags to riches story because he's got one hell of a story. And it's funny because he met us at the event back in 2009. Isn't that crazy? 2009, he was working at the hotel we were at.
Not me, you, right? You.
Ty.
Oh, yeah, but because I was in Myrtle Beach. I was at
No, that was right here in Phoenix in 2009. Wow. Yes.
That's amazing.
This is one heck of a story. And to take his company from himself to $0 to the ginormous company he made it. It was funny too because he was running radio commercials, television commercials. Maybe he'll work up getting one of those TV commercials that he can show us maybe next week, so these guys will, really enjoy. We'll make this show really good. Hey guys, gotta run. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks, John. I appreciate it. I got to make sure we got. There you go. You do it this way.
I don't know. I'm trying to point to you.
Take it easy, John. We'll talk to you later.
Take care, Ron. Great show.